I love you.
Clark. I love you.
Sorry to interrupt this tender moment.
Hank, you have to stop this. Darkseid is
No longer your biggest problem.
Is he talking about the model?
That's no model. It's an actual Kryptonian city that's been shrunk.
Currently home to 2,369,403 miniaturized Kryptonians.
Superman?
at your service, Madam President. Time to get you out of here. We may see it differently, but in the eyes of the law, Lex Luthor is not a criminal. The rule of law is a rule you never break. And real justice is everyone's right, even the worst among us.
Now, who the hell are you?
I'm Superman. Is this what Terry would want?
Don't say her name! You're not allowed to say her name! She's dead because of you!
If you're through indulging in this emotional nonsense, we have work to do. Superman.
Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the half man, half machine. Not Robocop though, Siwa-chan.
And the man who's a blatant rip-off of Fantastic Four but goes down a darker route, Carl Charles.
Yep, yes. And today we're doing a character spotlight episode on the Cyborg Superman, Henshaw.
Yeah.
And yes, like you said, basically, his origin as to why he hates Superman. But you know how it is when villains hate people, and it's kind of illogical hatred.
Yeah.
He is John Byrne wrote this, and he basically, because he was writing Fantastic Four before this, basically said, all right, well, if I'm writing Superman now, so what I'm going to do is make a mockery of when I used to write Fantastic Four because I'd beef with Marvel for some whatever, right?
Yeah.
So you get the people that go on the spaceship, the scientist, his girlfriend, wife, whatever it is, his love interest, her brother, his younger brother, and then the astronaut. So yeah, that guy turns into the thing-like being, whatever, but he melds with the metal and stuff like that. So he's like always in constant pain, but he's walking around like a massive mud monster with metal shards inside him. Is really, really horrible looking thing, actually.
Yeah.
The fake Johnny Storm is like a white-colored Nova character, flaming white, and he goes insane because he tries to bond with the sun. And Superman chases him into space because like what? And then the wife is starting to turn into it like a phantom, like going. Yeah. So she's quote unquote invisible and she goes invisible, right? And Hank Henshaw, the Mr. Fantastic Four ripoff, he's not stretching or anything. He's just basically melting as he's speaking. Sort of, he has a time limit before the entire atoms of his body fall apart. And yeah, so the Thing guy walks into a what's that stuff? The electromagnetic pulse thingamajig.
Electromagnetic field.
Yeah. You know when they do the stuff in the hospital to you.
Oh,
EKG.
Defibrillator.
No. Is it the EKG machine where it says you got to take all the metal off you?
Oh yeah, EKG. Yeah.
And so, but to end the pain, he does that. Hank Henshaw's like, Superman, I'll save my wife because basically you can't save my wife. Blah. And then he gets all angry and conceited because if you take really rich to the next level, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
But really rich will never go that conceited. And so yeah, he saves his wife all the way, but his consciousness dies, and you're like, all right, well, that's that, right? That single issue story. Except that then he comes back later on because his consciousness went into the computer and therefore he could control it. And then he tries to... His wife is still having flashbacks of the airplane crash, whatever, astronaut crash.
Yeah, whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah. And talk to a therapist. Hank Henshaw is invading all the computers trying to create a metallic body for himself out of these monitors and whatever. and he keeps on trying to contact her, and she thinks she's going insane. So when he finally does able to control it and actually make a body that's looking like Short Circuit 2,
Yeah.
she jumps out the window because she actually thinks she's lost the plot.
Yeah.
And then she's like, she's like, Superman, I have a vengeance against you because you caused my wife to die. But indirectly, it's because of these other things, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, Superman tried to save your astronaut spaceship from crashing. At that point, right, then the rest of everything is all Superman's fault. Well, okay.
Sure,
Yeah. Yeah. So how much do you know about the Cyborg Superman? Aside from, I mean, you know that.
I just know him when he came back, obviously for like Return of Superman or whatever, pretend to be Superman.
Yeah.
And then when he was a Yellow Lantern for a bit.
Yeah.
And then slightly when he got retconned in the New 52 to be Kara Zor-el's dad.
Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
Supergirl.
exactly. And then Hank Henshaw does make it comes back as Cyborg Superman later on in the
Yeah.
New 52.
When they retconned that again.
Yeah, the rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking at that in the Return of Superman when he came back, and it was like, well, blatantly he looks evil, right?
Yeah.
Just look at. He looks like the like. I didn't know who was actually going to be the main heel.
No.
Of Return of Superman, right? But he clearly doesn't look like a good guy.
Yeah.
But there's within the story. All right, so if you're trying to fool the readers, right? Okay, so he's got captions saying like he's going to Doomsday, going to find Doomsday and throw him into space. Yeah, and the government can't keep Doomsday away from me because he's too dangerous for you to try to pull your foolish experiments on blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
So best get rid of him. But then. Yeah, so it's one thing if you're saying this stuff to, say, the other characters and you're trying to convince them that you're actually Superman. But when you're reading captions, it's as though it's the thoughts of the characters themselves.
Yeah.
So when these captions are saying, oh, I found you, Doomsday, didn't even bother washing my blood off you, it's like, wait a minute. That's not right, because if you are fake Superman, why are you thinking that? You can say it, because then you can be called out to lie later on, right?
Yeah.
But it's just like, the writers try to fool the people, and it's just like, right? But I do have to say, looking at that, he goes full on Doctor Doom, super ham later on. He's just like, well, no, like the way he starts talking later on, like when he's trying to kill the Eradicator, he goes, you're like, okay, war has just bombed Coast City, right?
Yeah.
And he's going to fly to the scene. And Eradicate's flying to the scene as well. And Eradicate, and then, the first thing Cyborg Superman says, you Eradicate, you must be in league with them the people who bombed this place. And Eradicate's just like, please, man, calm down. We're going to have to look at what's going on. And then, and if you're not going to help me, just move aside, right?
Yeah.
And so Eradicate just goes past him, right? And Cyborg Superman goes, exactly what I wanted you to do. And he just laser blast beams him, right? I'm like, okay.
Like, sure.
Yeah. And then anytime he does anything from that point on, right, where he's just like, where he's no longer trying to fool Lois Lane that he's Superman.
Yeah.
Or anyone, all the readers, whatever. He just goes full on like as though he's Doctor Doom. Yes, I'm going to conquer the world. Mogul, you are my servant. Mwahaha. I will kill a Superman at all costs. Yeah. I'm like, wow, he's really a cartoon,
Yeah.
But there were, like, had you heard of Hank Henshaw before this?
No.
So this is so same as me, this is your first contact with the character, and you're just like, where's Hank Henshaw come from? Why does this guy hate Superman so much?
Yeah.
Why does he hate Superman so much that he pretends to be Superman?
Yeah.
In a cyborg form? And where did he get these Superman powers from if he's not Superman? So he melded with the Kryptonian birth matrix that brought Superman to Earth.
Yeah.
And his whole point, right? Even though he's half robot, he's not if he's fully formed Kryptonian skin, right?
Hmm.
His whole point is, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna destroy the Earth, and then because I look like Superman and pretend to be Superman, then the world will think it's Superman, and I've destroyed him publicly. And then I'll destroy him physically or some craziness like that, is where it's like more about the pride than the logic. It's like, all right, this is quite a long-term plan you got here, Cyborg Superman, but you don't even look like Superman to begin with. So, I mean, that part of your face, yes, but yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
kind of get it, but a bit long-winded, but sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So when he got rid of at the end of Superman Returns, when he threw Doomsday into space, he planted something on Doomsday, so he could recall his consciousness in case something happens. Cyborg Superman has died many a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But because he's cyborg, he doesn't really die in it.
Exactly.
Conscious to whatever else, isn't it?
Yeah. What did you think? Have you seen? Okay, you've seen. Have you seen all the have you seen the most notable variations of his costumes?
His original Superman one. And I remember seeing him as the Yellow Lantern. Sorry.
Yeah. That's so the original Superman one being the blue and red one. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the cyborg bits. The Green Lantern, the Yellow Lantern Superman one with it's the black and red one. Yeah, with the cyborg bits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Black and yellow, but yeah.
Black and red one.
It was black and red. If it's Yellow Lantern, wouldn't it be black and yellow?
No, it's black and red.
Okay.
Straight in. You're right. You think you'd think it had some. No, but here's the thing, right? And he's wearing, by the way, a Yellow Lantern ring on each finger and a thumb. But he's got no yellow bits in his costume, so that don't make sense. He's got a paradox symbol.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Stupid.
And then you've got the Apocalyptic red costume, the red and black one, which is just like not notable.
Okay.
They just call him the Cyborg after that, which then is confused with Victor Stone, who's the Cyborg. So yeah. And then you got the new 52 version, which is the red and blue version, but without the trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So strangely enough, I mean, so you haven't read many stories with this guy?
Only if he appears in something I'm reading, like, oh, he's still about great. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you probably know a lot more about him than I do.
No, well, I don't know a lot more about him, right? But I think do you think he's better when he transitioned to a Green Lantern villain?
I don't, maybe, but I just don't understand how he kind of dragged out his career this long.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, because he just came back for the one gimmick Return of Superman where he was the main bad guy, and then everything. I don't think he had anything that he was number one villain for since then. Even so were you collecting the Rebirth Superman comics?
Yeah, I was for a while. Yeah.
So did you read the storyline? You might have not, but the what are they called? The Anti-Superman League or something like that?
Yeah. Superman Revenge League or something like that.
That's it. That's the Superman Revenge Squad.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, so Hank Henshaw because at this point, no. Let's store that for a second and go to the New 52 because then it leads into this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyborg Superman is Hank Henshaw pre New 52, and then after New 52, Hank Henshaw is Hank Henshaw as part of the Stars space team or something like that.
Yeah.
And Supergirl goes into space and encounters a Cyborg Superman, and of course we're like, okay, so who's Cyborg Superman if it's not Hank Henshaw? Okay. And why does it look like Superman?
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, it turns out to be the Supergirl's dad. What's his name?
I literally just said his name wrong. Zor-el? Jor-el?
No, Jor-el's the Superman's dad.
Wait, oh yeah, right. Wait, is it?
Yeah, Jor-el's Superman's dad.
It's something Jor-el, which I always found weird. I thought it was weird.
Okay, but I'll probably get back to the name later, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you know of that storyline?
There's some weird thing with basically after Argos gets put into the glass bottle.
Yeah. Something
happens with an alien invasion, and they make her dad into Cyborg Superman.
Well, it's not quite that way.
Oh.
I think I mean I could be wrong as well in my remembering, but he was yes. They her dad was no. when she arrives there, Cyborg Superman's already there. Yeah. So and then we find out later that is her dad.
Yeah.
Right. Because he gets decyberized.
I guess that's a word.
I think so. He got turned into a Brainiac scout.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
But for some reason they cyberize you if you're a Brainiac scout, which is okay, right? I get the logic because he's machine as well, right?
Yeah.
But why does he make you look like Superman? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, right, if it was Superman's like mother or like, okay, if it's El, yeah, it's probably Jor-El. If it was Jor-El's brother, fair enough, you can look like similar to Superman, right? But no, when he gets decyberized, he's got blonde hair. He's like, okay.
Even when it made no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zor-El. That's it. I mean, no, is he just called Zor-El?
I think he is, but then it makes no sense why her name is Kara Zor-El.
Yeah.
When it just be Kara El.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we're like, okay, puzzled.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Stupid. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and then that's that. And then there's, for some reason, I think he has to help, he switches on Brainiac because he has to help Kara, and then he gets recyberized into being a Cyborg Superman. And then there's another storyline later on where I don't know how much cyberized he is, right? Because he's in that one of them experimentation tanks that they always put people in, right? And he helps her with fight someone. And then he gets put in the tank again at the end of the storyline. And then Jor-El goes and kidnaps him, I think. Gets rid of him, breaks his neck.
Sounds about right.
Well, this is the Jor-El from Mr. Oz Jor-El, right?
Ain't Mr. Oz that Jor-El? Wait, I'm so confused with their names right now.
What's the guy who was kidnapping Tim Drake and all them?
Yeah,
people?
I think that's Superman's dad, Jor-El. I mean, wait.
Yeah. Jor-El, yeah.
Yeah, Jor-El, yeah.
Yeah. But is Mr. Oz Jor-El? That's another timeline Jor-El, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So technically, when Jor-El, Mr. Oz kills Zor-El, and he calls him brother, he's not really his brother, right?
Yeah.
It's like Flashpoint, Batman, Thomas Wayne is not Bruce Wayne's dad.
Yeah.
Even though
even though like DNA wise and stuff, yeah, but
yeah.
Timeline wise, no.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
okay,
confusing.
so that leads to this where like, okay. So that clears the deck for the Superman Revenge Squad, where there's a crystal somewhere in the Arctic, right? That the sorry?
I said, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, the Eradicator is collecting people, like Mongol and some other people, right?
Yeah.
Because some of the other Superman enemies. And yeah, then he gets this crystal from the Arctic somewhere, flies it back to his leader, kneels down, gives the thing to the guy, Hank Henshaw, right? Hank Henshaw then puts the crystal on and goes, yes, see, now the histories are melded together, or, whatever happened, right? So when they merged New 52 with the Doomsday Clock and all this other stuff, right? So they can kind of have their continuity fixed. However they, when they just pick and choose stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna alter certain things to make it at least make sense. Because if he just suddenly reappeared as Cyborg Superman, I mean, that would make sense actually, but you'd have to explain that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then then Hank Henshaw puts on the crystal, tears off his own skin, and underneath his own skin is his Cyborg Superman form, and he's like, "Ha! I'm back once again in my ultimate state," right? And then the first thing he does is point out Mogul, goes, "Yo, Mogul, remember when you was my bitch during Return of Superman when we bombed the Coast City?" And Mogul's like, "Well, no, yeah, well, I remember, but I ain't working underneath you again." And he goes, "What?" And just slap, know your role, and yeah, kiss my hand like you did back in the day. And Mogul's like, yeah. I mean, he has to because he's beat up at this point, but he just like cursed you.
Yeah.
And I will also have my revenge. I will backstab you. And then, of course, the Superman Revenge Squad, that's what it is, right? Because on team with anyone at this point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, it's logical because the Eradicator wants to erase all wants to keep Kryptonian life safe, but went a bit crazy and started trying to destroy every threat to Kryptonian life, right?
Yeah.
Which is everyone else, okay? And I can understand. This is not the logic they played out, though, right? But I could understand how it's like, all right, well, Hank Henshaw, Cyborg Superman's part Kryptonian, therefore I should allow him to live, right?
Yeah.
But you could flip the angle of he's Kryptonian, but he's corrupted, therefore I should kill him. So, yeah, but they didn't. I'm just like, okay, well, he's cyborg and Cyborg Superman is cybernetic and he can control cybernetics, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, he corrupted the Eradicator. We'll just go that way.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, all right, Cyborg Superman's going to be the lead villain once again, make a name for himself, even though somehow he can never defeat Superman, even though he's got Superman's abilities and whatever cybernetic, whatever it is around him. Somehow, somehow he's on it. Yeah, but they're like, oh no, you know what else would be cool, right? I mean, we've got Metallo, we've got some guy called Blank. I think that's the telepath guy, right?
Yeah.
We got Eradicator, we've got Mongol, and we've got me, Cyborg Superman. You know, it'd be really cool though. You know, it'd be really cool if we get General Zod.
Yeah, because Zod's always there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zod's around at this point because he had something to do with the Suicide Squad and he just evaded them afterwards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so you got most of these guys with a big S on those Kryptonian. I know Zod's got Z, right? But
yeah,
shouldn't this be a bigger story if you got these lead bad guys? And if for jokes, you could have probably thrown in Bizarro in there just because you want all these guys to be S's, right?
Yeah, he could have.
Even though he'd be the most uncontrollable one, because who knows what them backwards people like Bizarro do.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was like, oh, okay. Right. And then, so Zod being Zod, right? And you know how you get some of these people with these personalities where like, Hank Henshaw, he's the guy putting everything together and he's got the main plan, right?
Yeah.
But he knows that General Zod has got such an ego with his authoritarian ways that he won't even listen to Cyborg Superman, even though Cyborg Superman got everyone together, and he's collecting him as well. So when Hank Henshaw said, okay, we should do this as the plan, we should do this and this as the plan, and Zod said, what? And Cyborg Superman, well, my suggestion is, like, wait a minute, what? When did you become the second tier in your own plan and just literally allow General Zod to take over you? Yeah. And that all falls apart because Zod's like, well, Cyborg Superman, I'm just sending you to the Phantom Zone to help so you can go and find my wife in the Phantom Zone, Feora, with my kid. And then Mongol's like, well, now it's time to take control, gets Shoryuken into space, and he's cursing Zod as he's flying into space, right? And yeah. And then when he's out in space, he's like, allow that. And he goes off. It's like, all right, okay, all right. But what is cool is when they when all this group decides to attack Superman's Fortress of Solitude, and Superman's blind for some reason. Convenient, right?
Yeah.
Zod actually works this out because it's like Superman had to fight with Zod, Cyborg Superman, and Eradicator at the same time. And they had to give him disability for whatever reason, right? But during the skirmish, Zod notices something. And so when they have the second skirmish, he's like, something's wrong with you, Kal-El. And he kind of figures out he's blind. And that Superman's using a superhero to radar. Yeah. And he just does a thunderclap or something like that and just blinds him. Or shout. No, he goes really close to him and just shouts in his ear. Yeah, like, all right. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, during that, what's cool about the second skirmish, they had, when Lex Luthor was basically Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, but in his Lex Luthor armor.
Yeah.
So Lex Luthor appeared, Steel appeared, I think you had Supergirl there, and I want to say that Superwoman / Lana Lang, but I'm not sure if it was at this point. And he had the Keenan Kong, the Chinese.
Yeah, it would have been Lana Lang at that point.
Yeah. So it was like, oh, cool. You have the opposing team, Yeah, but they didn't get to do a lot of stuff Yeah, which is you would have thought they're gonna have some massive battle, but then it's just partially turned into General Zod stabbing everyone else in the back. Yeah. So that was that. Did you ever read what's the one with Reign of the Doomsdays?
Reign of the Doomsday?
Reign of the Doomsdays, I think it is, or Reign of Doomsday.
No. When did that? No.
All right, let me start the story, and maybe you'll remember as you go down.
Okay.
So Superman's dealing with something in space. And Superman's on his own different storyline at this point, right? He's dealing with Lex Luthor and the Orange Ring, the Black Ring storyline, right?
Yeah.
So Doomsday starts attacking the people from Return of Superman. So he's attacking Steel, he's attacking Superboy. When he's fighting Steel, he turns slightly metallic. When he's fighting Superboy, he displays tactile telekinesis. And then he's like, at this point, Cyborg Superman. This is after he joined. After the Sinestro War, and later on actually as well, where he joins the Manhunters, I believe, and becomes their Grandmaster. They do try to do a lot with this guy, I think.
Yeah.
But I think none of it sticks because they try to do too much.
Yeah.
They try to keep him relevant, but at the same time, it's kind of you got to stick with something. But yeah, so Cyborg Superman, right? So Doomsday's in space. There's another storyline going on in the Justice League at the same time, right? So I'm gonna say, right, the Ellipso storyline going on there. But an Alpha Lantern bumps into Supergirl in space, and then Doomsday crashes right through that Alpha Lantern. And then, why is Doomsday after the Alpha Lanterns? It makes no sense. And then Cyborg Superman just kind of creates his body out of that Alpha Lantern. Because what happened is Cyborg Superman encountered with these people, the Alpha Lanterns in Green Lantern. They thought they trapped him in their consciousness and basically nullified his existence, except he was always hiding in the background. And he fights Doomsday in the Justice League satellite. Which is, I think this particular issue was Justice League, Batman Superman Annual 5. And it's Cyborg Superman fighting Doomsday, essentially. Mostly through the issue, while the other storyline is going on. And you're like, right. I actually thought it was a pretty good Cyborg Superman storyline because these guys who are irredeemable, all right, you kind of get to his side because Doomsday is just there destroying stuff, yeah? And Cyborg Superman's like, well, I'm going to fight you, right? Not to save anyone else on the satellite or anything like that, right? And not because I want to be, yeah? It's because I have to, because I want to prove myself better than Superman himself, right? Better than Kal-El, better than all that crap he's been saying about me, all the times he beat me. If I beat you, Doomsday, I prove better than him. And this is all after when, do you know why he joined the Sinestro Corps?
Was something stupid. It's a stupid reason, if I remember correctly. Isn't they promised him power to kill Superman? Something stupid like that.
No. They promised to give him the power to kill Superman if they assist him, right?
Yeah.
That's different, right? But what he wanted out of that, the only reason he joined was because he said to the Anti-Monitor promised him that he would finally kill him.
Oh.
Because all he wants is death at this point.
Yeah.
So
That's his thing, innit? Yeah.
There's a bit of tragedy in the characters. It's like so many times he's okay. First he came back out of pure spite and vengeance, right?
Yeah.
And then just like, you know what? I don't have anything for anything, right? I just want to die, and they won't let me.
Yeah,
So
he keeps coming back, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so when he gets this tussle with Doomsday, he's like, no, I've got the will to live. because I just got to be better than Superman. And then that Doomsday, and then it's a pretty decent fight. Because he's using all his abilities and all at once as well.
Yeah.
And cyberized and take over the Justice League Tower. But then he does the thing where, in Dragon Ball, what's the Meta Cooler movie called? Revenge of Cooler.
Yeah. Cooler Revenge, yeah.
Yeah, where Goku and Vegeta just smash right through the metal cooler.
Yeah.
And finally, just, he falls parts and pieces, smashes to many pieces.
Yeah.
That's what Cyborg Superman does to Doomsday. It's like, you know what? Enough of this. I'm going to go all out, right? All out final finish, yeah?
Yeah.
And just charges right through the Doomsday and tears him in half. And he's like, I've done it, right? Except then Doomsday starts absorbing parts of the Watchtower.
Yeah.
And takes it over and turns into Cyborg Doomsday. And Cyborg Superman's like, this. And he's like, I've lost control over everything. I couldn't. I got nothing. But yeah, that turns out to be. There's a bunch of Doomsday clones who have the abilities of their respective Doomsday Superman characters. They're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that storyline. So when Superman finally gets into that storyline, he goes and rescues his cohorts and stuff. No, straight out rescuing like they're useless or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, I've entered the storyline. I don't know what's going on, right? Because I was dealing with my own storyline. Guys, tell me what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Feed me the info. And Cyborg Superman like, no. I'm gonna betray you, even though we're all here, and all them Doomsday could kill us. I'm gonna betray you all as well because that's how I do.
Yeah, he's MO at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, fair enough. Yeah. But as a character, I mean, yeah, I thought the best parts of it was when he's just like, I want to die. I've had enough of this life. I think he's just probably got a severe form of depression.
Yeah, he has.
He's like, he don't want to live no more, but he just can't die.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, I've got to do this all over again. I just want to be at peace, but no.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
this guy. Yeah.
That one that when he had the Cyborg Superman book in the Tales of Parallax.
Yeah.
And he's like, so how he got involved with the Green Lanterns obviously destroyed Coast City, but that's the side part.
Yeah.
When he got destroyed and sent into space, the Manhunters revived him as their Grand Master.
Oh, wow.
So he's the leader of the Manhunters. And he's like, right, well, I'll just destroy all life then in that case. Like the Manhunters, with their programming. He's like, well, yeah, okay, time to destroy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it went in his own Cyborg Superman Tales of Parallax book, and he's talking about how he went to visit the grave of his wife just before they're going to have that big massive fight on Earth, before he's going to start fighting Superman. And he's like, he gets her corpse, by the way, out of the grave, and I don't know how long she's been dead, but she's still got hair on her head, which makes no sense. Right? Yeah. Unless it's a wig she was wearing.
Could be.
And her skeleton's still kind of together because he lifts it out, but it's like, wait a minute. I'm assuming you've shattered some of your bones when you fell out the window or whatever. But
yeah.
And how could it still be connected to each other? Anyways.
Sure.
But he's like, oh, finally the Anti-Monitor will grant me death, and it's not because I want to be with you, Terry. That's his wife's name. Yeah. Not because and he's got a corpse and he just tears her apart. He goes, now after when death is granted to me into the infinite void of nothingness, I'll finally be at peace. And it's just like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not morbid. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah. But I think he's just like, oh, his man who's gone crazy, of course, right? And insane, and just is in severe depression.
Yeah.
Oh
man, he's kind of like a fake character, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of a bit. Yeah. So, did you click? Have you read the recent? Actually, recent, but did you click the recent Green Lantern storyline he was in?
No, I didn't.
So he started menacing the Green Lanterns. So at the end of Superman Revenge Squad, he got trapped in the Phantom Zone. Superman, Lex Luthor, and all his group exited the Phantom Zone and said, "No, we're leaving you in there, Cyborg Superman, because you're a menace."
Yeah.
Couple of maybe a year or two later, real time,
Yeah.
Superman it's Superman Christmas story, and he's like, I left that Cyborg Superman in the Phantom Zone to rot. Well, not rot because he's in the Phantom Zone, but I got to give kind of like, I got to stop him hating me.
Yeah.
And he hates himself. There's got to be a way, we could deal with this. So Superman opens up the portal. Cyborg Superman starts attacking him. We go, no, hold up, Cyborg Superman, hold up, right? I can help you with your problem. You don't want to live, right? I mean, as a cybernetic form, all of that, right? So what we'll do, I got this program. I can attach you to the Fortress of Solitude's internal AI or whatever it is, yeah? And then you just live out the best memories of your life. You don't have to worry about trying to die, because you can't, and worry about being alive. You just be kind of in a stasis.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. We'll do that. It's my best option at the moment. We'll do that. And then later on in Green Lantern, something's funky with the power battery. Someone's tripping up the connections, whatever. And lures Simon Baz to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
Right? And it's okay, the villain of the story obviously is Cyborg Superman. But he's using his Superman saying, look, Simon Baz, I'm trapped. I'm Superman. I'm trapped in the fortress. You have to break into the fortress and rescue me.
Okay, yeah.
And he just uses the static, hologram thing.
Yeah.
He conveniently stops at certain points so he doesn't reveal his cyberneticness. I'm like, that's kind of smart, right?
Yeah.
And then, because somehow, like I said, he's infiltrated the central power battery, and he's sending messages out the Green Lantern rings. And Simon Baz accidentally lets him out. He then says, all right, what I'm going to do now, I can control the Green Lantern and his ring, beat up Simon Baz, saying, how you shouldn't have trusted anyone. I'm going to go and cause more trouble with the Green Lanterns. And then I think Hal Jordan comes down, and Hal Jordan group comes down to fight him, right? And he's like, remember Hal Jordan, remember all that fear that you went through about Parallax and all that stuff, right? That was because of me, remember? I caused your downfall. So it was like, you first felt fear because of me. So he kind of is a Green Lantern villain. Even though Jeff Johns transitioned him into one a while back. But Mongol, like the likes of Mongol and Cyborg Superman can transition back and forth through that rogues gallery, really. Yeah, but it's odd to have a guy dressed as Superman defeated by people that aren't Superman-ish. I mean, not to say that when Hal-Jordan was Parallax, his power level was crazy because he defeated Superman, even though he's got a reaction of a normal human.
Yeah.
But when he's Green Lantern fighting Cyborg Superman, it seems a bit off.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hal Jordan saves the day, as per usual with that. I think
being the greatest Green Lantern of all time.
Exactly. Plot armor because he can. But to be fair, in that story, Simon Baz is like, well, I don't have look. I started relying on my Green Lantern ring a bit too much. Now I need to get the guns from the Fortress of Solitude because I'm trapped there.
Yeah.
And then basically he gets John Stewart to come and help him. Because John Stewart was hurt or something like that. So he was not going to be. His ring wasn't infected with the Cyborg Superman, whatever it was, virus. Yeah. And they should use weapons from the Fortress of Solitude to take charge. And then Cyborg Superman runs off afterwards. He's like, "Oh, I'll curse you, Hal Jordan. I will also get my revenge on you at some point." But I think I preferred him when he was just trying to die, but just was not able to.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense of why he loses. It gives them a kayfabe reason why he loses so much. It's like, with the powers of Superman and cybernetics, why would you lose so much of that? Well, because kind of subconsciously, I want to lose. I want you guys to kill me.
Yeah, I kind of get that. Yeah.
What did you think of the Cyborg Superman from the TV Supergirl TV series?
You know what? I've never actually watched Supergirl.
Right.
I've never watched it. I don't know. I keep meaning to because now it's over. I can binge the whole thing, but I've never Any Supergirl I've watched is like crossovers. And that's it.
Okay. Well, let me give you the quick lowdown. In episode 1.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So you know who John Jones is, yeah?
Yeah.
From Supergirl,
He's Hank Henshaw in that, right?
Yeah. So when you're watching it and you like you see the guy, but so when they start about the DEO, and you see Hank Henshaw introduced, and he's a black guy, and you're like, okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you're like, well, if this guy becomes Superman, Cyborg Superman, does that mean Superman? Because at the end of allow Henshaw as he is, yeah. But at the end, but he's always acting a bit sinister through the episode. In the end of the episode, his eyes light up red.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, if you say this is pre-Cyborg Superman, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because then you can turn into a white guy, right?
Yeah.
But if his eyes light up, then it's like, is this post him Cyborg Superman? Like, if it's him being evil, why is it? This makes this, it's Superman black, but then why is his cousin white? Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So John Jones turns out, Hank Henshaw turns out to be John Jones, and there was a real Hank Henshaw.
Yeah.
Who was still the same guy, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Because he had to steal his identity to go and morph into him.
Yeah.
And he comes back and he's like, "Yeah, I'm Cyborg Superman," and like. So you just got this piece of metal across the bit of your face, and you don't really display much type of like. You don't look like Superman.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of cybernetics, right? But why do you proclaim yourself Cyborg Superman when there's nothing Supermanish about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't make a lot of sense to me.
No.
Yeah. And I don't want to say she deals with him quite easily, but I mean. He's Cyborg Superman in name, but not really in action.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll see a Cyborg Superman in the movies at some point, or even the Superman Lois TV series?
I don't know. Maybe in the Superman Lois series. I can see that.
Let me rephrase it. One is: do you think he has enough potential as a character for them to bother using him?
Not really.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, not really, no.
Fair enough, that makes sense. Not in the movies and not in the Superman Lois, right?
Maybe Superman Lois they could if they wanted to, but...
Yeah, because they made something out of Bizarro.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you're going to have another duplicate Superman-ish.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much CG that would be. I mean, in a movie, you could do it because you could, like, they do the Winter Soldier's arm all the time.
Yeah.
Right? But I think it might be a bit too complicated for TV to green screen certain things for a certain amount of time. See how they did Bizarro, and they just basically painted up Tyler Hoechlin white with scars on his face and stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to say it was cheap, easy effects, right? But you know how when Bizarro's got a crystal face?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit... did you ever see in Smallville when there was a... I knew just more bizarre... Bizarro was in it. So what they did was have Tom Welling, and then when the sun gleamed or something like that, it kind of made a more crystallized face.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to normal. They did do a Bizarro with a Bizarro face, Bizarro head in I think the Superboy TV series, right?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
But the head was bigger than normal because they had to fit over the actual guy's head.
Yeah.
So that was so I don't know. I mean, even then, I don't know. About
it's kind of tricky, like because he's so connected to Superman itself. It's weird, like like the character itself has legs, but because he's Cyborg Superman, it's like
yeah. And then. In some ways, he's a really shallow character because all he does want is a revenge.
Yeah.
In other ways, it's like you'd have to get to him where the point where he becomes a bit of a more tragic character.
Yeah.
But that's way later in the build.
Yeah, way later.
Yeah, you can't really. Without the length of time to build that,
Yeah, it's kind of pointless.
But I tell you, kind of funny is how, like you're saying, right? He joins the Sinestro Corps. He got the yellow rings, right? And 10 of them, by the way. I don't know if they. Apparently, according to Green Lantern law, right?
Yeah.
10 of them don't give you 10 times the power of Green Lantern.
No.
What it does is give you the psychological boost that you think you have powers 10 times the power of Green Lantern, therefore increases your willpower.
Oh,
like you know, where what's it called? Placebo.
Yeah. Oh,
so I don't know if that's the same with the Sinestro rings, whatever, right?
I believe it would be the same, right? Because they're technically the same rings, just operate with different emotions.
Yeah. 10 times the fear. But then I know willpower was one thing, right? But then you're like, you got these rings, yeah, and you're like, oh wow, this will make people fear me more, yes, and it gives you a confidence boost, but that doesn't increase your fear boost.
Yeah.
Unless you're thinking they'll fear you more because you've got all these rings.
Could be.
And the perceived fear of it. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, that issue came to an end once he attacked Metropolis, and he started having a clash with Superman.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, Cyborg Superman, like, he's got Superman in like a yellow ring construct chokehold.
Yeah.
KO'd and stuff like that. And he goes, yes, I've finally done it, right? And then that's that. You're like, that's the end of the fight.
That's weird.
And then, but then the very next thing you see, the next time he appears, right, within the Sinestro War, is when his body crashes into the ground, when Superboy's fighting everyone else, right?
Yeah.
And Hank Henshaw's body just crashes into the floor, and you see Supergirl, Power Girl, and Superman floating down near his body. It's like, well, okay, fair enough. It took 3 of you superpower people to take him down. All right. Do you buy that?
No.
Do you accept it?
No.
Right.
Realistically, to be fair, but probably take one of them, take him down, if I'm honest. He's a bit of a
okay. Even with the 10 rings?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Because he doesn't actually really use them. He just wears them, if I remember correctly, right?
Well, he does. Well, okay. Here's the thing, right? Oh, no. You'll think of Superboy himself. And I don't think Superboy Prime wore a yellow lantern.
No, he didn't. But I'm pretty sure, I don't remember, like, Henshaw ever using, like, the rings to do anything, like, make contrasts or anything.
Well, yeah. I will say, I'm certain he does, right? But at this point, you've got heat vision, right?
Yeah.
You've got ice breath. You got all them cybernetic guns that you create out of whatever you did, yeah. Having them rings is a bit overkill as well. 10 of them, no less, but yeah. What did you seen the Death and Return of Superman animated movie?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say that okay. What do they call that universe? The DCAU.
DCAU, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of him in that?
I liked him in that.
Yeah. I like
I like it because he didn't outstay his welcome, if I'm honest. That's why I like it.
Yeah. And there's certain, and the way he's played actually in there is like he's I want to say a bit more regalness to him. Yeah. He's more trying to be Superman.
Yeah.
Until a certain point where he isn't acting his plan. Because when Superboy, Eradicator, and Steel all having that scuffle, and then he comes down, and he's like, big boys, you gotta kind of calm down.
Yeah.
And then Superboy and Steel are like, it's the Eradicator, it's him, right? And then Eradicator just charges the Cyborg Superman. So yeah. Yeah, but when he gets revealed as the mastermind behind everything,
yeah,
I like how the camera angles turn a bit warped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With their close-ups and stuff like that. Like he's yeah. So they frame him, they make him look a bit more crazy, even though you're half robotic already. You look kind of a bit nutty.
Yeah.
As it is. Yeah, his master plan in that as well. They're like, oh yeah, well, I'm gonna give people of the world superpowers to protect themselves, yeah, but not really, because I'm gonna take over them, cybernetic wise, and start destroying the world because I'm gonna defame Superman's name, and then I'm gonna kill Superman because the black suit Superman comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With half his powers, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you also find out that he's actually in league with Darkseid as well, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, tying it back to Justice League War, the first movie. Yeah,
and then Justice League Apocalypse War is the last movie.
Yeah.
I think I'm similar to you that he's kind of he as a character that looks and has the powers of Superman. He's a bit of a cheap character.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to do much. He seems to be a bit of a high-tier jobber at times. As a potential of a character that is kind of tragic because of circumstances, there's places to go with that.
Yeah.
You can only go so far once you start at the top, you know?
Yeah, because, like, realistically, like, how I see it is, like, over the years, they kind of should have transitioned him to become, like, a hero, because, like, he's kind of got the momentum, like, the motivation to become one in the end.
Yeah.
But they kind of just drag out, like, oh, yeah, he's just still a villain with Superman's face. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the first time he died, Superman punched the center of his body and vibrated that super speed that shattered all the pieces, right?
Yeah.
But because he attached a bit of his cybernetics to Doomsday, he came back.
Yeah.
During that Superman Hunter Prey storyline, when he came back, where Doomsday went on rampage on Apocalypse and and beat up Darkseid somehow, survived the Omega beams as well.
Yeah.
I think Cyborg Superman got turned into he got hit with the beams and somehow survived.
Okay.
Like his consciousness, whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that, he came back. The trial of Superman. Where they were like, so they accused Superman, these tribunals, like space tribunals, accused Superman of Superman has to sentence down for his ancestors because they caused Krypton to explode, and it saved the Kryptonians. And they got Cyborg Superman to help them do their dirty work. I'm like, and then Superman's like, hold on, you got this mass murderer here, yeah? To capture me, right? Because you think I'm guilty. This guy is boasting about how he killed 7 million people in Coast City. You guys are idiots.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah, and then he turns their line of thinking to his line of thinking, right? Yeah, Cyborg Superman cannot be trusted. We shall sentence him to death. Or not death, because he can't die, right?
Yeah.
We shall send him we shall sentence him. And then he blips out, he disappears, and Superman's like, he's just going to transfer his consciousness elsewhere if you try to kill him or you teleport him to anywhere else. What have you done with him? And they're like, we've sent him to a place he can't escape. We sent him into a black hole.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then and he does escape, right? But this is a wacky escape. Not wacky escape, but this is a bit off the wall escape.
Yeah.
Have you read the Green Lantern Silver Surfer crossover?
No, I never read that.
Right, so Cyborg Superman was in that black hole. He just finds himself on a dead planet somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, I got out that black hole or something like that, right? Right, let's go back to creating plans to destroy Superman and the Earth and all that stuff. And then Parallax floats over, Hal Jordan Parallax. And he's like, oh, so he goes, I pulled you out of that black hole because I'm gonna kill you in my own bare hands. He's like, yeah, you can try and fight me, but I've got the powers of Superman, blah, blah, blah. He goes, well, I got the power of, like, Parallax says, well, I got the powers of the 7 million people you killed in Coast City. And he just creates, like, constructs of all them people. And they just tear Cyborg Superman apart into nothingness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. This was actually this was a 48 prestige format book.
Yeah.
Where Hal Jordan tried to convince Silver Surfer to give some of his powers to him.
Yeah.
So the power cosmic combines with Parallax powers to recreate the universes.
Yeah.
And this is where Thanos tries to get Kyle Rayner to give him some of the Green Lantern powers from Owen, so he can destroy the universe. And, like, first of all, you can probably look at Parallax, Hal Jordan, and you'd be like, this, and he used to be a hero, so you're like, this man knows how to hit certain buttons, even if not exactly he's manipulating you into his own ways, but he wants to do something, and his backstory is kind of tragic, yeah?
Yeah.
But you look at Thanos, right? And you're like, this guy with this face ain't convincing nobody. Of
Yeah, he hasn't the most trustworthy looking face or demeanor around him, does he?
Yeah, but then that's the same with Cyborg Superman. When he was trying to convince Lois that he's like, oh yeah, Lois, I do remember something about the Kents or something, but the battle with Doomsday is too much for my memory. I'm like, look at that guy's face, and you could just tell he's like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's like, dudes, he's chatting crap.
Yeah, so yeah, somehow he survived that, and then that's what he becomes the Grandmaster from the to the Manhunters, right?
Yeah.
And then when the Sinestro finally happens, and the Green Lanterns basically blow up the world, as Cyborg Superman's on it. Yeah, his floating the cybernetic part of, the non-cybernetic part of his face is floating in space, and he's like the power light is disappearing from his eyes.
Yeah.
And then he's rolling a tear because he's like, yes, I finally got what I wanted.
I'm finally dead. Yeah.
Yeah, except then the Manhunters grab him and start recharging him, and then power connect, and he's like, no. Yeah.
I just want to die.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when later on, I think, in another storyline where the Alpha Lands take him out as well. But yeah.
Well, I think about it now, if he wants to die, why don't you just fly into the sun?
Because he'll recharge the the Kryptonian parts of him, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. But now, he just seems to be full on, I want revenge on Superman, blah, blah, blah. So he just kind of stripped away the bits that gave him a bit more character depth.
Yeah.
But you're like, we won't be seeing him in it. Superman's got lots of villains. And you're like, this is one of the lower, even though kind of he's high tier, I think it's one of the.
Yeah, he's a high tier, low tier, if that makes sense.
He's a high powered villain, but a low tier in the importance of Superman.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Hold on. If they were doing, I was gonna say if they redid Man of, because you know how like Man of Steel they decided to use Zod again.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what if they used Cyborg Superman? They couldn't though, because that's when Superman's just starting.
Yeah, it would have made sense.
Yeah. And you'd have to have a Superman that's been around for a good couple of years, and you'd have to kind of
around that.
Yeah, and then you would have to do the Henshaw backstory as a flashback or something like that.
Yeah, because you could easily like in the Reign of Superman, the animated movie, whatever it is, when he's introduced, you can easily do how they did in there, like in the beginning. Oh yeah, they're in space and all that bad stuff happens, and then he's like, oh yeah, Superman will save us. You can sort of do that in the beginning of a film. But you kind of still need the lead up, really, don't you?
Yeah, yes. Like you're saying though, I mean, a lot of the Cyborg Superman logic don't make sense, but at this point we accept it because he's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one guy where we're like, okay, revenge consumes you or whatever. I'm just like, yeah, your origin was kind of nuts, anyways.
Yeah.
Why you do everything is nuts. And why you become that cybernetic thing and accidentally cause your wife to throw herself out the window. You accidentally caused her wife to purposely throw herself out the window to escape you. Yeah. So a lot of this. But yeah, I think he's made appearances in different media though. The Injustice game, right?
I don't think he's in Injustice game.
Is he not in the Injustice game?
Both of them. I don't remember him being in them.
Injustice God Among Us. You sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure he's not in it. He might be like a costume, but him himself is not in it.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Because I've seen clips and I was like, I'm sure he's in it, but I think if he's probably just an alternate costume, that's fair enough. Definitely in the Death and Return of Superman game, right?
Yeah. He's definitely in that. He's a playable character, if I remember correctly, at some point. And then Swerve, he's the bad guy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, one final crossover that I remember he was in. Superman, Fantastic Four crossover.
What is he in now?
Yeah, Superman, Fantastic Four, where where Galactus, quote unquote, is responsible for the destruction of Krypton.
Okay.
Oh, that's kind of neat. How they wrote that.
Yeah.
But it turns out he's not because there was a probe sent and a Kryptonian probe sent. No, what was a Kryptonian? There was a probe sent from space, and Cyborg Superman intercepted it and then put the message in it.
Okay.
That Galactus destroyed Krypton, so it could then I don't know if he wanted Superman to fight Galactus or Superman to Galactus to beat up Superman or something like that. But when he encounters Fantastic, I think he wanted to lure Galactus over with the potential of turning Superman into a herald, right? But then he takes the place and gets the cosmic power, right?
Yeah.
But obviously that didn't happen. And then Mr. Fantastic and Superman get kidnapped or teleported over with Galactus when he disappears.
Yeah.
And Cyborg Superman's like, well, all right, that plan's gone out the window. So one way to do is team up with the Fantastic Three over here.
Yeah.
To get to Reed Richards. I tell them that I'm here to. They know what my plan is, but I'm like, you know what? I'll help you rescue Reed Richards because you guys are in trouble as well. You want him, right? And then he relays the story of Richards are actually kind of similar, but mine was off the rails, and you guys seem to have settled in it and all that stuff. Obviously they don't trust him because he's like, look at him, right?
Yeah, he's not a trustworthy guy.
Yeah, and then he tries. Then Superman gets turned into a herald of Galactus. And when Superman they're like Superman, fight through the program and stuff like that. Yeah, and then you remember that Galactus, quote unquote, destroyed Krypton. And he's like, damn you, he turns to fight Galactus.
Yeah.
And Galactus is like, wait, hold on, son. Hold on a second. That didn't happen. I don't know why you're saying that. And they're like, Cyborg Superman and Cyborg Superman like, Galactus, quick, they're going to fight you. Empower me with the cosmic power. And Galactus goes, no, you can take a death beam for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was that. But I think this is the point where in 1994, I think so Superman, for the simplicity of the story, they were like, it's a crossover from different dimensions, but not.
Yeah.
Because Superman he gets the Kryptonian whatever message, and he says, I'm going to need I need to consult someone about this. I need access. But, we know that he's talking about the dude from the Marvel's DC guy called Access, right?
Yeah.
But the way it sounds like he just needs access to Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, it's a neat way to get around it without having to, then say we had to teleport between universes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a lot more to say about the guy, even though he's kind of like,
he's been around for like 30 years at this point, and he hasn't really done much.
Well, the thing is, he's been in key relevant stuff.
Yeah.
But he just seems to be taken down a lot easier than you would expect from a guy who has all those abilities.
Because I kind of feel like he's been shoehorned into most of these stories. Like, oh yeah, we've got him on our books, let's just throw him in here.
Yeah. Like I was saying before, he started at the top, and there's only one way. Like sometimes they do with Bane.
Yeah.
Where he's got his star making role in Nightfall, right? And after that, he does do stuff, but he doesn't do much. And I think probably the best run for Bane is in the Secret Six, where he was a bit like the Straight Man, with all in the insanity going around him.
Yeah.
But that's that. I will say they do allow Cyborg Superman to defeat certain people.
Yeah.
But never the top tier people.
No.
So if he was in Superboy's book, right, he'd probably be able to beat Superboy or Steel, right?
Yeah.
But then when Superman comes along, he's like, nah. All of a sudden his abilities drop.
Yeah, story convenience. Yeah, he doesn't have to do this anymore.
Yeah. You Any particular other things you want to say about Cyborg Superman?
He was Cyborg Superman for way too long. Like, they could have transitioned him to be someone else, but well, not someone else, but like a different sort of name he could have had at some point, rather than Cyborg or Cyborg Superman.
Yeah. Robot Superman, right?
Yeah, even that. Like, his name just linked him way too much to Superman, and then
yes,
Superman kind of became like above him, so they stopped caring.
Yeah, it's true, because it's like if you transitioned him to the Green Lantern roster with a name like Cyborg Superman, you can't really, shift that way.
Yeah.
I will say that when I say that Hal Jordan and those people ran him off at the end of that storyline, Sodom Yat made an appearance as well. Because he's like, Cyborg Superman, you can take all of you Green Lanterns, got a power of Superman. I've got a power of Superman and these corrupted Green Lantern rings. And then it would take a Superman to defeat you and defeat me, and none of you are Superman. And the Sodom Yat comes down with his Green Lantern ring and his Daxamite abilities, and basically, it's like, well, I'm here, boy.
Yeah.
I'm basically a Superman. And Henshaw's like, layers. Well, he had that little tussle, and then he's like, gotta get out of here.
That reminds me of one of my favorite parts of Sinestro Corp War. I know it's kind of going off side tangent or whatever, but when Superboy Prime fought Sodom Yat, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I like that they dedicated a whole issue to it.
Yeah.
Of the Green Lantern cause. And I personally, when I was reading, I was like, the power levels made sense because it had the power of Ion.
Yeah.
He had the power of the Green Lantern ring and Superman. And basically the abilities of Superman. And if Ion was relative to the level of Parallax, that's kind of universe breaking to some degree.
Yeah, something, yeah.
And Superboy Prime having, the crazy Superman level powers of back in the day in the 50s where you could move play ping pong with planets.
Yeah.
And literally have paddles, massive paddles, and hit planets. And they don't crumble, nothing like that. And he can so fast he goes backwards in time. That's that sort of nuttiness. Yeah. Somehow they're fighting on Earth, like you're saying. And their punches don't shatter the world.
Yeah.
I'm like, right.
And
and then Sodom Yat gets punched into a lead factory.
Yeah.
Which then knocks all his power levels down. And basically got lead poisoning, which is lethal poisoning to Daxamites, and his Green Lantern thing is the only thing keeping him alive. So then it kind of, but he decided, I want to fight Superboy Prime hand to hand. I'm like, you got a Green Lantern ring. You don't even know to go near this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a decent bloody battle, and obviously made Superboy Prime more of a threat.
Yeah.
Because he actually defeated, Sodom Yat.
Yeah, and then later become Superman because of the whole legal stuff.
Well, yeah. Throughout this entire storyline, even though he's acting like a boy, he's Superman Prime.
Yeah.
Because, of legal reasons. And then they said that this Superboy Prime is a separate character from Superman when he was a boy. Therefore, he can be Superboy Prime.
Yeah.
And Cornell Superboy is a separate Superboy from when Superman as a boy as well.
Yeah.
So, Anyways, that's that.
Yes, that was it.
Hope you guys enjoyed us talking about Hank Henshaw / Cyborg Superman. I mean, that's kind of, there's potential, but just not enough. Well, he's capped out a certain ceiling, unfortunately. That's what it is.
Yeah, sadly. But yeah, he could be alright.
Yeah, I think he's involved with decent storylines that have far enough reach to do certain other things, right?
Yeah.
But as a character himself, like you say, something like we were saying before, he loses a bit too much. He doesn't gain enough heat back, and he's too connected to Superman. Superman himself would not be taking losses. A guy more powerful than Superman should not be taking losses either.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, if you can't win with the powers of Superman plus the powers of whatever cyborg abilities you have, what that's why I'm saying I kayfabe him all the time. He deliberately kind of he mentally wants to lose, and it's anything that can make sense of all his losses.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, that's us signing off for this episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And thank you all for listening to us. Like, see what I said, talk about Henshaw and the possibilities of him could have been great and then becoming the sort of, I don't want to say this because I like this guy, the Dolph Ziggler of the DC universe.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
You call him when you got a kind of good story, but you know you're not going to push him at all. But
yes,
yeah, to get other people over. So let us know of your experiences with Hank Henshaw. Do you think he could have been a better character, or he should have stayed where he is in obscurity, or just should have been used once in Return of Superman and that was it? Let us know in the comment section below. I kind of lean towards that, but that's me. Also, remember to like us on Instagram, follow us, and on the Twitters, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's got a lot of things going on there at the moment. And yes, that's about it, I'm afraid. So, I have been the guy who never lived up to his potential, Carl Charles, and
and I'm the guy who inadvertently caused his wife suicide, therefore causing me depression that I want to die. CY Chung.
And thank you guys for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, Master.
You let Darkseid turn you into this.
Superman turned me into this. Darkseid only rebuilt me and taught me how to wield my hatred as a weapon. Just like he done with Doomsday. That beast was only a mindless assassin, while I was set to a singular purpose. Destroy what remains of Superman. His good name. It was the best revenge I could hope for. Until now.
You're gonna lose, Hank.
Hank Henshaw is dead. Just like your beloved knight in blue tights. Of all the things I learned on your balcony that night, I think the most important was the true nature of your relationship with Superman. A relationship, I'm afraid, that's about to meet a tragic end. I've sacrificed everything now just to kill him. But not before I've made him watch as I tear you limb from limb. Even he can't save you.
How do we get in?
The Master used this to shrink and teleport himself in, but he entered in such a rush, he forgot his power suit.
All you hear today is how do we live in a world without Superman? Well, some of us already had to. Some of us watched as everything we had, everything we loved was lost.